Hey, welcome back, my amazing student. So are you guys ready? Let's do this. So first things first, I'm going to create a folder here called Habit Tracker. And then I'm going to drop this in my Visual Studio Code. And we're going to start. All right. So I'm going to create some folders here in files. And then we're going to start. So I got the app. This is going to be the brain of our application. And then I'm going to create a folder called templates. And if you guys taken some of my other courses, you know this is how we start our web applications with Python and Flask, right? And once that's done, the next thing would be, let me go ahead and create a virtual environment real quick before I forget that. So let's go and say Python 3, venv, and venv. There we go. Done. And let me turn this on real quick before I forget. Bin and activate. There we go. That's activated. All right. So now we got installed some of these things like let's use pip. Since we are in the virtual environment, we can use this already because that's installed already. So Flask, and then we're going to use Flask out SQLAlchemy. Let me see. Yeah, this doesn't go there. Yeah. That should be good. Perfect. Alrighty. So let's start with the app file here. And we're going to import Flask. That's the first thing. Flask. And why do I keep pressing this guy here? And then the render template. Guys, I want you guys to understand that if you don't practice the code, if you don't write this stuff with me, you're not going to get used to it. It's not going to stay in your brain too long. You need to practice, okay? I know it's boring sometimes, but you need to get into the code and play around with it. That's the only way you're going to really learn. This is going to sink in your brain if you only practice. And you need to keep going. You need to be consistent, all right? Even if you do one lecture a day, but you need to keep going. Because if you quit one day, your brain is going to be like, okay, he quit, I can quit anytime. You don't want that. Let's create an instance of this. And right here, and then we're going to use a decorator. And guys, if this looks weird to you, it's because you're brand new. That means that you need to take my other course, which is Flask Basics. And that's going to give you a little bit more deeper understanding of what we're doing here. But I'm expecting you guys to have some type of knowledge. But anyway, very simple here. We are creating an instance there, and we're going to trigger a function in the domain name of this app, okay? So we're using decorators here. This is something that Python uses. It's not just specific to Flask. And we're going to use this function to return some type of file. In this case, it's going to be index. All righty, simple as that. And then we'll do a little check here just to make sure this is running on this specific file. If this is the same as main, then we should be good. And then we use the instance. Let me make sure I got that colon there to run the app. All right. Now I'm going to set this flag to true, or this option here. So that way we can see some of these errors. All right. Perfect. Now let's save the file, and then we got to go in here, make sure. What I'm going to do is that I'm going to give you some files on this specific lecture so you can download, and that way you don't have to write all this HTML, all right? So I should have some of these files here, all right? And I'm just going to drop it in here. I'm going to copy it, all right? This is not in the project yet. I can just paste it in. I can just actually copy it. But I'm just going to create it here real quick, not to waste time. And I'm going to paste it in there. I'm also going to create other files like the base, the HTML, and I'm going to copy that from here as well. So you can see all that in there. Now I could drop it in there. Like I said, let me just drop it in here. All right. So that way I don't have to keep writing all that stuff. I can actually grab analytics too. And habits. Actually, hold on. And let me select all this. And then I'm gonna drop it into template. There we go. So I got analytics, base, habits, and index. All right. And now, once I have those, and I'm gonna give you this on this lecture, okay? So make sure you go to the description of this video and download it. Let's go and get the terminal going here. And let's turn this on to see if actually this works. All right, perfect. So I'm gonna click, I'm gonna do command because I'm using a Mac. I'm gonna left click. If you're using a Windows, you're gonna do control and left click, and that's gonna give you this. So I got some placeholders here for you guys. This is how the app is going to look, all right? At least in the home page. And you can check the other page, but once we have routes, right? Because we don't have any routes right now, but you can see that we have some placeholders here. We're gonna replace that with real data coming from the database. So that's where things are gonna get really fun, all right? So the reason why I'm giving you an app that looks good is because I don't want you guys to get bored and then quit the course. I want you guys to keep going and see something happening in front of you, all right? Some really cool things. But anyway, guys, be consistent. I'm gonna keep these lectures short just in case you guys don't have a lot of time. And let's go into the next lecture where we're gonna keep playing around with this app and develop it, all right? I'll see you guys on the next lecture. Take care.